Hello there, I'm Tara Scubella, guide and founder of Earth Tantra. And in this video, I am going to share with you the 3 hard truths about Tantra. And sometimes they hold us back from the experience and the journey. First, if you have not joined the Earth Tantra family on YouTube, I invite you to click and subscribe to our channel now. And I also invite you to sign up for our newsletter, and that link is provided below. So why don't we move into the 3 hard truths of Tantra? The first hard truth about Tantra I am going to share with you is Tantra is not all blissful. No matter what you see in the pictures with people smiling, wearing white clothing and being all blissful is not always the truth. Tantra can be really, really hard. Tantra forces us to face our shadows, our shame, our trauma, those muddy places, those really, really hard places in life, because Tantra is life. Tantra is definitely not easy. As we begin to dive deeper into Tantra, we face our triggers, sometimes in group situations, or sometimes as we read a philosophy in Tantra, and we might want to freeze, flight, or fight the matter. Justify the matter of our point of view. But Tantra is all encompassing of life, even those icky, muddy places that we don't want to go. And sometimes when we see those beautiful pictures of people radiating with vibrance after a retreat and just so fucking blissful looking, we want that. And that's okay, because we do want happiness in our life. But know that a lot of those people had to work through those shame, shadows, traumas, and triggers and muddy places within that retreat or that space to get to that happiness. The beautiful thing about Tantra is that as we face our shadows, shame, and trauma, we begin to do the work within, which releases that muddiness, that blocked energy, that stifledness, to let our happiness and radiance shine. So as we begin to do the work and our responses to triggers and things that we don't want to hear, that starts to peel away the wrapping paper on the gift. So the gift within lets out and our radiance will shine. And those are the pictures that we see, and those are the things that we want to invite in our life. But remember, to get to those blissful places, we need to do the work, which leads me to number 2. The second hard truth about Tantra is that it's not meant to be read. It's meant to be experienced. So yes, we can read 10,000 books on Tantra and the philosophies and how to get there and the pathways and all of those different things that we want to read and place within our mind. And yes, the mind is a part of Tantra, but so is the body. So are those physical sensations. So are those energy centers that lie within. So are those pleasures. And I don't necessarily mean sexual pleasures, just pleasures and joy within the body, touch, sensations, and the practices. And it's always better to experience when we have a guide or a group of people that we can come together. And part of the experiences are learning from other people. I think that's so important in Tantra. And because Tantra is life, Tantra is meant to be experienced, right? In life, we experience, unless if we hide in our dark room, which some people do. And then we don't get to get out there and experience life. So if you're somebody who wants to experience the good and the bad and the ugly and the blissful places, then Tantra is for you. And because Tantra has hundreds of practices and we don't need to learn them all, but the ones that we can associate with and align with us at that time in our life or different times as those practices shift and change, those are the ones that are juicy. Those are the ones that are meant to be experienced and to be woven into our life for expansion and deepening our connection. And for me personally, when I learned about Tantra, I had not read any books yet. My first Tantra experiences for months actually We're going to retreats and going to workshops and meeting with people one-on-one and being guided. And the experiential part is really extra important for me because I learn experientially. I'm a very tactile learner. So feeling those energy centers within, being able to touch and know what they feel like inside of my body, not only my mind, but within my body, was really important for me and my pathway. Perhaps you're somebody who loves to experience and that's how you learn best. If you aren't, then perhaps maybe you want to read some books and prepare yourself before going to a retreat. But don't let that hold you back, because sometimes we create self limitations in moving forward in our pathway. So I invite you to find a guide, whether that's me or somebody else. Perhaps you're somebody that loves experiential learning and that works best for you. This is definitely one of the pathways for you that might resonate the most, because we get to move within our bodies and feel and observe other people and learn within a group or a one-on-one setting. But you might be that person who prefers to read first and then join a group of retreaters, or to be guided by a teacher. But there's many different ways that we can enter Tantra. But I do encourage you, if you are that person who is more in the mind and processing first before you're ready to jump in with a hell yes, please avoid creating yourself limitations, because it's those limitations that hold us back. Because the more we read and the more we process, we might think, oh, I'm not ready for Tantra. And then you'll never be ready for Tantra. Just put aside those limitations and find something, find a program, find a teacher, find a guide, find a retreat, find a workshop to begin to wet your toes and to connect with the practices and the pathway of Tantra. The third hard truth about Tantra is not a quick fix. Oh my gosh, it is not a quick fix for anything. It is a really beautiful pathway and it entails so much. If you're looking for something that's juicy and that's all encompassing, and you're wanting to dive into shadow work and you're wanting to feel that pleasure and blissfulness within, or get to that place, then Tantra is for you. There's hundreds of practices within Tantra. And the more we learn, the more we can pick and choose which ones we're drawn to at any particular moment in life, the more we can move and follow our pathway and experience Tantra as a whole. Tantra is life. So birth, actually even pre-birth, our ancestral energy that we're born with, through our infancy stage, our childhood, our teenage life, our adult life, and until death and beyond. Tantra is all of life. Those fears, that trust that we have within. What is your relationship to trust? What is your relationship to death? What is your relationship to love? And not only loving others, but yourself. In Tantra, we learn to open our hearts. We learn to drop within and to trust ourselves and to connect with our intuition, to be self-guided and self-led. And so if you're looking for that space to be able to really truly connect and to be self-guided and led, Tantra is for you. If you're somebody who has to write everything out on a spreadsheet or ask 10 different people and get their opinions and weigh the pros and cons, but yet you know what that inner voice is, but maybe you're talking yourself out of it, or you need justification to believe yourself, Tantra might be for you. And so these are the 3 hard truths of Tantra, because Tantra is not easy. It is not, and it's not always blissful, and it's meant to be experienced, and it takes some time. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen within weeks. You could probably begin to experience the magic of Tantra, perhaps even in a workshop or a retreat. But building upon that, deepening your relationship with Tantra, deepening your relationship with self, is what will expand your pathway. And so I really encourage you to set aside the attachment of only blissful experiences. I encourage you to set aside attachment to only being able to read Tantra and not facing Tantra in an experiential way. And I encourage you to set aside attachment, that blissfulness is going to happen and always be there for you in a short amount of time. Because the more that we dive into Tantra, the longer it takes, because the more we realize that there's so much more out there. So inviting Tantra to be a long part of your life versus just a one-time experience. So I hope that this video has helped you in understanding the 3 hard truths about Tantra. And in today's society where we're ready for a quick fix, know that Tantra is not that. But again, if you want that juiciness, if you want that rawness and that realness, Tantra can be for you. Thank you so much for spending this time together, and I look forward to reading your messages below. And again, I invite you to subscribe to this channel if you have not yet, and perhaps sign up for the newsletter, the Earth Tantra newsletter, with the link below.